Good morning, everyone. I hope you all did okay with your guided read yesterday and you're all kind of successful in trying to find a book to do our AR quizzing on. Any questions or anything, please just email year5@millbrook.valeacademy.org and we will try and help you with that. But today we're going to do what we would normally do in class, which would be going back to Skunk and Badger and doing a bit of work on that. So let me just share my screen with you. So we go. So back to Skunk and Badger. So today, let me just move myself. I'm moving myself up here. Okay, I'm going to read you the breakfast scene from chapter 2 again. So I'm going to do that now. So it's just to re-familiarise yourself with this. Obviously, I've got to be quite quick because I've only got 15 minutes. So I'm not going to read you like much of it. It's just literally the breakfast scene. And there's the picture just to remind ourselves. The air around Badger was thick with smells. Savoury and sweet, buttery, toasty and grilled. If he were a civet, he'd have wanted to roll in the smells while yelling, "Rejoice, rejoice!" But being a badger, he tiptoed into the kitchen for a wary peek. From the doorway, Badger stared. The kitchen looked cosy, welcoming even. Candlelight flickered on the kitchen table. 2 places were set with placemats, cloth napkins and napkin rings, a fork and a knife. Nothing matched. One napkin was purple and dotted, the other a tartan plate, and the half-finished candle had been stuck into a bulbous bottle covered with wax strippings, but Badger found it delightful. Skunk whirred to the stove, the counter, back to the stove, the sink, the kitchen table, and returned to the stove. He spotted Badger in the doorway. "Come in, come in, come in." Skunk jabbed a spatula in the direction of a chair. "Sit, breakfast soon." Then Skunk scraped furiously at something in a frying pan. Badger sat. The scraping stopped, and Skunk marched over to Badger. He put his paws on his hips and said, "I am not a baby cow. You are not a baby cow. I will not insult your palate with baby cow food. Have you ever met a baby cow? Slugs are better conversationalists, but never fear, you will like your breakfast hot chocolate fine without baby cow milk." Breakfast hot chocolate? Badger did not think he would have trouble drinking breakfast hot chocolate. He was about to say this, but Skunk was already across the room at the kitchen counter. He tossed something into a bowl with a big spoon. Skunk picked up the bowl, gave it a shake, and a small potato shot across the room. "Rocket potato! Watch out!" yelled Skunk. "Ha ha ha!" Badger laughed. "Ha!" laughed Skunk. Their eyes met and they grinned at one another. Then Skunk nodded seriously. "I will get rocket potato later." The bowl clunked back onto the counter and Skunk continued to cook. A few minutes later, Skunk laid a plate of scrambled eggs and fire-roasted peppers in front of Badger. Badger knew what to do next. He forked it up and put it in his mouth. "Ooh, mmm." Skunk shook out a napkin. "Tuck this under your chin." Badger tucked the napkin under his chin and forked up more eggs. "Mmm, mmm." Therefore followed the promised breakfast hot chocolate and a basket of strawberry cinnamon muffins. After everything else came roasted fingerling potatoes. Skunk apologised for the potatoes coming last. "I get the eating order wrong sometimes, but with breakfast I do not mind terribly." Skunk sat down with his own plate of potatoes. "Breakfast is the nicest meal," he said. Badger nodded vigorously. Skunk continued, "Because breakfast is the nicest meal, you should have candlelight at breakfast, if at all possible. Sometimes it is not possible. Sometimes you are eating where there is not a candle, or sometimes there is a candle shortage and no one has candles, but that is sad, particularly for breakfast." "Yes, said Badger, hiding his mouthful with a paw. Skunk clapped his paws. "I knew it. We are so much alike, we will be good roommates." Then, with Skunk at one end of the table and Badger at the other, they turned to their plates and ate. Okay, so your next task is either to tell someone at home what happened in the breakfast scene or write down a few key points. So what I tend to remember is Skunk had made strawberry and cinnamon muffins for Badger, because I think that sounds quite nice. And they had breakfast by candlelight, which was unusual. So just jot down maybe 3 things. So pause here and do that, or find your mum, your dad, sibling, your cat, go and tell them. And then what I want you to do is think about how Badger's feelings are starting to change towards the Skunk. Now, I don't actually think that the Badger is a very nice character. I think he's a bit opportunistic. He's kind of out for what he can get from the Skunk. But I think the Badger is starting to think that the Skunk is quite useful to him, but you might think something different. So just think about how maybe the Badger's opinion or his character is starting to change. So pause here. And then we will move on to the task. So you've got 3 choices today. So choice, let's move me again. Okay, so choice of 3 tasks. Number 1 should be accessible to absolutely everybody, no technology required. So just draw a picture of the breakfast scene and label it to include the key points and moments. So I might draw the skunk at one end and the badger at the other. And on the table, I might be drawing the candle or the breakfast muffins or the rocket potato, like kind of flying across the floor. We don't know what that's about yet. So everybody should be able to do that. If you are feeling a bit more creative, if you have people in your house that you want to get involved with this, imagine that you are the skunk or the badger. You might even be able to get the other member of someone else in your house to be the other character for you. Bonus points for dressing up. Get those black and white clothes out. Set up your kitchen table or a space with some items that you have lying around the house. You might have a candle. Don't light it. Please don't light it. But you could have your candle in the middle. You could maybe have your potato to be the rocket potato. If you've got like a mismatching kind of knife and fork and napkin and stuff, lots of details from the book. Take a picture of yourself as the skunk or the badger, or obviously get someone to take it for you and then send it to us. We'd love to see that. This is if you're feeling really ambitious, if you have got future plans to be an actor or an actress. You might want to act out the scene. You probably need someone else to be a skunk or the badger. If you want to act out certain elements of the scene, you can video it and send it in. So the key is really kind of trying to understand this breakfast scene. So you've got drawing option for everyone, photo maybe if you would like to, and acting out if you're feeling really ambitious and you've got someone that can help you with that. You'll probably need 3 people because you'll need 2 of you to be the skunk and the badger and then one to film it. Obviously that's completely optional, you don't have to. I just thought it would be a bit more of a fun task, and that's what we were going to be doing in class today. Was that was our task, to get into pairs and act it out. So it's completely up to you. Pick that. I'd love to see them. Please email me the Year 5 email address and I will see you tomorrow.